administered by Univision and Telemundo, and you know how that is. And it is so terrible, the ignorance. I've been having such a battle here in Houston and in other parts of the state and also internationally, because the people here, they're sending messages or receiving messages back and forth, exchanging with Hispanos from all over, and they are not backing us as many Republicans because of the
English is
ignorance.
American
And
language now.
I wish that
Donald
maybe
Trump put in a law.
President
Donald
Trump
Trump
could
put in
have
a
like a
law.
1 minute commercial in Espanol,
No.
and other leaders, including yourselves, and maybe just use Newsmax and One American News and Salem TV and NTD and the Good Righteous networks, and then maybe buy some time with the big networks so that the Hispanics receive.
Well, Carlos, thank you for that, and you're absolutely right. It is critical to communicate to the Hispanic community. You look at your and my state of Texas, where the Hispanic community is pivotal, and within a decade, Texas will be a majority Hispanic state, and so it is not complicated that if Republicans do not compete and do well and win the Hispanic community, that Republicans will have a very difficult time winning Texas or many other places. And that is something I am deeply committed to. It's something President Trump is deeply committed to. If you look at this 2024 election, we saw a massive shift towards Republicans in the Hispanic community. And it was true in Texas. It was true across the country. I mentioned a minute ago that I carried Hispanics in the state of Texas in this last election. President Trump carried Hispanics in the state of Texas in this last election. Not only did we win Hispanic statewide, but you look at the Rio Grande Valley.
Yeah.
Literally for 100 years, the Rio Grande Valley has been bright blue. I'll tell you, I was in the valley just this past week. I've devoted thousands of hours and millions of dollars to flipping the valley to be bright red. Look, the Hispanic community, our values are conservative. Faith, family, patriotism, the American dream, those are conservative values. And in the valley and many places in Texas and across the country, it has been cultural, where a lot of voters, their parents, their grandparents, their great-grandparents were Democrats, and culturally they've been Democrats. Well, look, this is not your grandfather's Democrat Party anymore. The conservative Democrats that used to exist are no more. These are radical zealots. Today's Democrats are open border zealots. Today's Democrats support releasing violent criminals, murderers, and rapists and child molesters from jail. Today's Democrats can't tell the difference between a woman and a man, and they support boys competing in girls' sports. They support pro-Hamas protesters on college campuses. And I'll tell you, in the Hispanic community, those are not our values. So you are absolutely right. We need to communicate. We need to communicate using English language media. We need to communicate using Spanish language media. And I'll tell you, in this last election, I spent millions of dollars communicating through Spanish language media. President Trump spent millions of dollars communicating through Spanish language media. And we need to make clear that we are fighting for working men and women all across America. And I got to tell you, I'm incredibly optimistic. I think the Hispanic community is shifting dramatically towards President Trump, is shifting dramatically towards me, is shifting dramatically towards Republicans. And we need to be a blue-collar party. We are a blue-collar party, and I'll tell you, we're even seeing the African-American community moving towards Republicans. That we saw significant movement in this last election towards Republicans, and I think we'll see significantly more movement among the African-American community towards Republicans.
Absolutely.
I was just in Austin in the state legislature this week campaigning for school choice. Texas is on the verge of passing the biggest school choice program in the country, and I've spent 20 years fighting for that. That is powerful because every survey done of Hispanic parents and African-American parents, you see 60, 70, 80% support for school choice, and the Democrats are fighting against school choice every day. So, Carlos, thank you for your leadership. You are absolutely right.